What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is going to be the 15 biggest draft busts in NFL history. Now this is again subjective, you guys will be thinking of people who potentially are not on this list. I have no clue who's going to be on it, but the person who made this video, the links will be in the description, is subjective to them. So let me know who you guys think if they're not on this list in the comments below. And make your prediction on who's going to be number one. Maybe the top three. If you want to do top three, go for the top three before you watch this video and who you think are the top three draft busts in history. Now, it is draft night tonight, but unfortunately, it's at like 1 AM for me, and I do have work tomorrow morning. So, unfortunately, I cannot live stream it. I got quite a few requests, but I just can't because I won't have the sleep, if that makes sense. So, I apologise for that. But what we're doing instead, we're checking out the biggest draft busts. And I know there is a lot of these videos for like general US sports, because I think US is the only country that has drafts in it. Oh no, but I think Australia do, sorry, in the AFL. But other than that, I don't know many other countries what have it. So I can do the draft busts for every sport and see if there's some mental ones in there. Without further ado though, let's get straight into it guys. Hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Hit that like button as well, you absolute legends. And let's see who the top 15 are.
Total Pro Sports presents
Link up in the description.
Biggest NFL draft busts ever. The best teams in the NFL are able to draft well, or at least make up for poor drafting. The worst teams in the NFL, those teams consistently find ways to make absolutely awful picks. Somehow, some way, they can't seem to develop any of their most promising players. Here are the 15 worst draft picks in NFL history.
Okay.
Number 15, Jake Locker. The Tennessee Titans hope they found their franchise quarterback for the long term when they nabbed Locker out of Washington with the 8th overall pick in the 2011 draft.
Okay, number 8.
Just 4 years in the NFL. Locker was injury-riddled his entire career.
Damn.
Him up for good in 2014.
That's a shame.
He never showed much promise to start on an NFL team anyway.
Oh, wow. Wait. He never showed much promise to start in an NFL team. And they picked him at number 8. Why would you do that? Never mind that it was riddled with injuries. But what I didn't say at the start as well, it seems, by the way, so important, these number 1 picks. Because obviously, isn't it the lower you are in the season, the worse you finish, the higher draft pick you have, and you kind of build for the future. I love this model, by the way. I absolutely love it. You build for the future with these draft picks. So if you completely get a bust high up, you could ruin your next year because you've got to then go again, if that makes sense. So yeah, they're major to a team, which is mental to think that you can have big draft busts. And it wasn't Brady like round 5 or something like that, something ridiculous. So you can get gems in it. So if you're a top team, you get a gem, you just stay at the top. It's mental.
Rick Mirer. The Seattle Seahawks took the promising quarterback prospect with the 2nd overall pick in the 1993 draft.
Wow.
Mirer didn't do anything and was off the team by 1996. Amazingly,
3
he
years,
still
not
managed
bad.
to find jobs as a quarterback for 6 other teams, most recently on the Detroit Lions practice squad in 2004. 50 touchdowns and 76 interceptions in his career. Seattle surely regretted this pick.
More interceptions than
Number 13,
touchdowns.
Achilles Smith. The Cincinnati Bengals took Smith out of Oregon with the 13th overall pick in 1999,
Okay.
hoping he'd end up their quarterback of the future.
Yep.
Smith played just 4 seasons with the Bengals and was out of the NFL by 2005. Cracked any rosters after his tenure with the Bengals ended. It took the Bengals several years later to find their star quarterback, Carson Palmer.
See, it ruined him for
Number
years.
12, Justin Blackmon. The Jacksonville Jaguars couldn't help but take Blackmon, the expensive superstar wide receiver out of Oklahoma State with the 5th overall pick in 2012.
Okay.
Blackmon got himself into many off-the-field troubles, which caused him to be suspended and not play in 2014 or 2015.
Oh, man.
Luke Kuechly, Harrison Smith, and Alshon Jeffrey were among the stars taken after him. Number 11, Vince Young.
He had a rough
Titans
one.
couldn't resist selecting Young, the University of Texas quarterback who led his team to the 2006 BCS National Championship.
Okay.
Young was taken with the 3rd overall pick in the 2006 draft.
Birdman.
With stars like Jay Cutler, Haloti Ngata, Kemba Hall, and D'Angelo Williams being taken after him. Young last played on an NFL roster in 2011 with the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 10, Brian.
Again, it is just like these teams which potentially, if it had just gone for that other name who were potentially like, oh, should we get him instead? The franchise could be completely different. And I know you guys don't have your relegations and stuff like that, so coming last doesn't really... I feel like, you know what I mean? I hear a lot about tanking in the US, and again, educate me because I don't fully know, and I know I'm pausing a lot, but it's not exactly the most exciting videos in terms of hype and stuff like that. This is a more an educational purpose for me, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. The tank, don't they? So you got, like, let's say the top 8 in your conference, or what it is. Again, sorry for my ignorance, I genuinely don't know, I'm asking. Top 8, I believe it is, at least in basketball, in your conference, go through to the playoffs. Now, the rest of the teams, if you're not in the chance for the playoffs, you may as well tank because you get a better future. Which seems a bit weird to me, losing games on purpose, isn't it? Let me know in the comments. But other than that, I love the whole aspect of bringing youngsters through. And the fact that these minor details of someone who looks promising, you basically a franchise on that player potentially. And if it backfires, you're doomed for a couple of years. That's how big of a decision these are. It's mental, man.
And BOSWORTH. The Boz was supposed to make a huge impact for the Seahawks.
Okay.
Everything he did was make them regret selecting him. The Seahawks grabbed him in the 1987 supplemental draft, where the linebacker failed to do much of anything. BOSWORTH played just 3 years for the Seahawks before his NFL career ended.
Wow, that is short, man.
Number 9, Aaron Curry. Oh yes, another huge draft bust by the Seahawks. Curry was the 4th overall pick in the 2009 draft by Seattle, who was in desperate need of a franchise player to turn their fortunes around. Curry lasted 3 years for the Seahawks before playing 2 seasons for the Oakland Raiders, most recently in 2012. Yes, sir. The Seahawks won Super Bowl 48 despite so many awful selections over the years.
They still won it, though. Who cares?
KIJANA, the first overall pick of the 1995 draft, was supposed to give the Cincinnati Bengals their running back of the future. Carter was out of the NFL by 2004, lasting just 5 seasons with the Bengals, just 20 touchdowns and 59 career games. Number 7,
doesn't sound good,
Brown.
man.
The Cleveland Browns selected the stud defensive end out of Penn State with the first overall pick in 2004.
Okay.
Brown was never able to become the superstar he was hyped up to be.
Yeah, by the way, he looks a beast. I'm surprised he didn't make it. We checked out the freak natures on my last NFL video, and he looks one of them. Look at him. He's massive,
Denver
man.
Broncos took a chance on him in 2005, but he was finished in the league by 2006.
Oh, wow.
Worse yet, this wasn't even the worst pick the Browns made. Number 6, David Carr. Carr was one of the many quarterbacks that was expected to fix his team, but only made them look silly for taking him.
Oh, wow.
Carr, the first overall pick by the Houston Texans in 2002, won a Super Bowl ring as a backup with the New York Giants. He played 5 years for them and was sacked 76 times in his rookie season. As you can imagine, it didn't lead to any success.
I can imagine,
Number 5, Tony MANDARICH. Sports Illustrated hyped him as the greatest offensive line prospect ever in 1989.
Oh, wow.
The Green Bay Packers bought the hype. He went 2nd overall in the 1989 draft. The rest of the top 5 that year? Troy Aikman, Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, Deion Sanders, all Hall of Famers.
Oh, man. Barry Sanders. You could have had Barry Sanders. But you went for this guy. Oh, man. This is what I mean about the big decisions. How can you do that? Like, oh, that's heartbreaking. Again, I know at the time, hyped up. The pressure on these guys' shoulders, by the way, getting on the front of magazines at the age of, 18 to 22, I believe you guys have told me college is for you guys. It's mental, absolutely insane. All this pressure worth millions and millions of dollars for you to come in and win them that. And basically in front of thousands of fans. That is mental. And I get why they put so much into a college system in fans and stuff like that and want to get the best facilities. So that when they make the step up as well, it's nothing new. Obviously, it is new. It's different. It's the pro level. But in terms of the experience, the fans and stuff like that, it isn't technically new, if that makes sense. But man, the weight on these shoulders are massive. And yeah, I can't believe you could have had Barry Sanders and you went for this guy. Oh my God, man.
MANDARICH played 86 games between 1989 and 1998 and never became the prospect he was supposed to.
Shame, man.
Number 4, Charles Rogers. The Detroit Lions fans have suffered so much like very few teams in sports. One of the reasons for that was taking Michigan State wide receiver Charles Rogers 2nd overall in 2003. Rogers lasted 3 years in the league due to inabilities to escape the law.
Oh, man.
Andre Johnson, Terrence Newman, Terrell Suggs, Troy Polamalu, and Nnamdi Asomugha were taken after him. Number 3, Tim Couch. Here's the worst pick ever by the Cleveland Browns. Tim Couch, number 1 overall in 1999.
Number
Couch
1.
played 5 years for the Browns and never came close to being an above-average starter in the NFL.
Oh.
He had 64 touchdowns and 67 interceptions. Between 1999 and 2015, the Browns never had a quarterback much better than him, nor worse for that matter. Number 2, JAMARCUS.
Yeah, you know what? I know Fridge is a Browns fan, I believe. I'm sorry if I've got it wrong, but I can see your pain. You got a lot of pain there. And again, your number 1 pick, such an important pick, and you absolutely butcher it. Like this Trevor Lawrence kid, he looks a real deal, but you never know. The pressure, anything could happen. He just may not cut it in the NFL. It's mental, man.
Russell. The Oakland Raiders were super sure they had their quarterback for the long run when they took Russell first overall in 2007.
Okay.
Russell played just 3 years in the NFL and was out for good by 2009.
Oh.
He had 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions, and became one very frustrating pick.
I can imagine,
By the way,
yeah.
Calvin Johnson went right behind him. Adrian Peterson, Patrick Willis, Marshawn Lynch, Darrelle Revis, Greg Olsen, and Eric Weddle were among superstars taken after him. And number 1,
That's
Ryan
mental.
Leaf. The hot debate of the 1998 NFL Draft was Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Manning told...
Oh my God, I know this is going because Manning is an absolute legend, isn't he? We've reacted to him. And they've picked Lee over him. Was it the number 1, did they say?
Indianapolis Colts to take him, guaranteeing a championship, or else he'd come back to kick them in the butt. Manning set every major NFL record and became arguably the greatest ever. The San Diego Chargers took Leaf 2nd overall, and his career was short-lived. Leaf played just 3 years with the Chargers and never lived up to the promise he showed at Washington State. And that's it for the 15th.
Yeah, you got to be good. You could have had Peyton Manning, who, again, we don't know. We don't know if he'd have been as good on that team if he'd have got drafted. The circumstance sometimes plays a part. He sounds absolute quality. I mean, the reaction we did to him, he seems quality. So I assume he would have been. But you'd never know with these things in life. But I assume he would have been. And again, if you're the fan of them teams, I know hindsight is a beautiful thing. 2020 vision, hindsight, stuff like it's a beautiful thing, isn't it, hindsight? So it's kind of just like, yes, you can look back and say he was a bust. We could have had Peyton Manning, we could have had Barry Saunders, we could have had Marshawn Lynch, which are all mentioned in this video. It just must hurt. It must be so painful looking back now. But who's to know that it wouldn't have gone different ways if you had picked him? You never know. So it's a little bit of a hard one to do. I hope everyone in this video are okay, got their careers back on track in different fields, something like that, because it's never nice, because you're talking about people who have failed when you talk about draft busts. So it's not the nicest thing, but it's mental to see how one decision can change your franchise, basically the path of your franchise, whether you're going to win championships or if you're going to win nothing. Literally as simple as that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope your team picks an absolute superstar tonight in the draft. Let me know in the Discord, the comments, how's it going. If you have enjoyed your picks as well on this video, I know you'd have to come back to it, but I know you legends will. So have a fantastic day, good luck with the draft, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.